What's up guys, Coach Joe here at the Lion's Den located in Colmar, PA. So if you're ever in the area, please come check it out. We got a lot of new equipment here, and in the future we're going to be putting out a new gym tour video kind of showing the journey of where we started to where we're at today. So we'd love to have you. But in this video, I'm just going to be going through a upper body workout. I'm kind of banged up, and I've been banged up in the past. So this video's purpose is just to kind of go through some mistakes that I've made to help provide you guys value to not make those same mistakes and help you throughout your journey. So we're going to get right to it, guys. If you have any questions or you can relate, please put them down in the comments section, and let's get to it. Alright, so the first tip that I want to give you guys is how to manage and work around tweaks and injuries. So I actually have a torn rotator cuff I've been working through for some time now, and as you can see, I'm using the American camber bar from Elite FTS. Now in the past, probably what I would have done is gone right to my bench or using the bench and just slowly worked up until I got to my working sets. But what I've been recently doing is figuring out how I'm feeling and how to warm up properly. So on a day like this where I'm feeling a little bit banged up, I'm probably gonna do something like a WENNING warm up. So 3 exercises, 25 reps a piece, and then I'll go to the bench press. On days I feel good, maybe I'll still go to the bench press, but it's just having those auto-regulatory plans of how to warm up based on how you feel to help for long-term longevity in just training and also keeping yourself healthy. Alright, so kind of another little tip here is that I wish I knew how to utilize specialty bars more in my earlier training career than I do now. Obviously that's dependent on if you have them or not, but if you do, don't be afraid to use them. So for example, using this bar right now, it's actually creating almost like a border block press. So allowing me to still train pressing volume, but shortening that range of motion a little bit, so I'm not feeling the pain in my shoulder as much as I would with a regular barbell. So if you have SSB bars, multi-grip bars, different pieces of equipment, figure out how you can use that to your benefit to still continue the training process without feeling as much pain as possible. Alright, so Sebastian actually had a great one talking about training mistakes, and that has to do with deloading, right? You have to know when you have to deload, because if we constantly have our pedal to the metal, at some point we're going to run out of fuel, the wheels are going to fall off the car, bad things happen. But I think one has to do with our ego, right? We have to be able to put our ego in check instead of being like, oh, I got to go hard every single day. Where there is a time and a place to go hard, we also have to equally know when to ease off that throttle so that we can make progress going forward. And that's going to lead me to my next point, which I'll talk about in a second here, but I'm going to hit some incline chest presses on this new machine in the gym, so we'll get back to you in a second. All right, so to piggyback off of the deloading, okay, I often hear a lot of people in the gym go, I don't really know what I'm gonna do today, or what should I do today? And I think that with that being said, we need to have some sort of structured program in place. A lot of people come in, they just feel like they wanna hit something that feels good for that day, but we gotta make sure that there is a structured roadmap from how we're gonna get to point A to point B. We can obviously play around with those variables as things continue on, but if we don't even have a map to begin with, it's really going to shorten and decrease our progress in a sense. So either make your own program, buy a program, have a coach to to be able to lead you to where you want to go, and that's really going to help you along with your training. And if they do a good job, they should have points and periods where you do deload when you're going hard, and it should be easy for you to understand. So you guys just see me on as I'm doing the pec deck. We got a pec deck here at the gym, really cool addition. I'll talk more about it in our gym tour video, but back to the points, things I wish I knew, and this is as cliche as it sounds, but I'm very guilty of it, is don't do dumb shit, all right? Like obviously, you guys seen the video where I tear my bicep, okay? There's things you can learn from when you do have injuries, and for that one, it was don't do movements you haven't done, or do a training style you haven't done, because that could lead to injury, right? Basically, I threw myself from going to pure hypertrophy training in a large deficit, very dehydrated, to try and do max out, essentially a preacher curl. In hindsight, yeah, makes sense not to do that. In the moment, easier said than done. So all you guys who are hating on the internet about it, like listen, I feel you, dog. I'm out here living it. But at the same time, if I were to look into your life, I'm sure you could look back and say, yeah, it probably wasn't the best decision. And all we can do is learn from that and grow from it. So mistakes, okay, need to be made for us to evolve and get better as people. All right, so kind of following up, and it's kind of the flip side of what I just talked about, is not being so stuck to a certain identity, okay? Especially in the lifting community, right? We have people who identify as bodybuilders, CrossFitters, weightlifters, powerlifters, strongmen, etc. And while that is awesome, that's what you do, okay? If you switch careers or you get out of that sport and you're still stuck in that identity, that can really cause a lot of mental health problems and interfere with things that you just started doing because you're passionate about. So it's okay to have some diversity, right? We're throwing some different types of training blocks. Maybe you are a power lifter, but maybe you spend a couple months just doing some bodybuilding, figuring out what you like, don't like about it, and utilize what you can from each of those training methodologies to only make yourself better, if that makes sense. So just don't get so stuck in your ways, okay? Don't be so dogmatic or tie your identity so tight to something, because there's a much bigger picture going on than you probably realize. All right, so I'm doing some lateral raises, and as you can see in the video, I'm using the incline bench to actually give myself some tactile feedback on whether or not I'm using any body English or momentum to help. Even though I'm pretty trained with these, and I look very controlled when I do without the bench, I feel like our body naturally tries to throw in some sort of movement to help assist the lift. So by pushing that bench against my body, I can feel that I'm not doing that, and it really delivers a great stimulus to the shoulders. So give it a shot, see what you think. All right, next thing when it comes to what I wish I knew then that I know now has to deal with recovery. And recovery is a very broad term, but when I think about recovery, I think about fatigue management, I think about nutrition, I think about sleep, I think about stress management. And there are a lot of things when it comes to those terms that I wasn't necessarily prioritizing or doing correctly, where maybe everything was in line, but my stress management was terrible. So the older version of me and the now version of me really tries to manage my stress better because I know how much that affects everything else. Where in the past, I would just try to bulldoze through things, right? Or maybe it was I thought having to work really hard meant staying up all night. And yes, there are times when you're gonna have to stay up late at night, but if we're consistently doing those things, that's gonna add up, and it's really gonna take away from our performance and how we can function for everyday life or even our training. So just really trying to focus in and prioritize recovery as a whole is gonna just keep propelling you forward in your journey. All right, so the last one for this video, guys, I wanna talk about, and it has to do, especially in the world we live in of social media, right? Where we see things and then we almost wanna emulate or become that. And in reality, that may not be what's tangible. So my point in this is that have small attainable goals that you can work towards and continue to grow and thrive off of those goals to build momentum and continue your journey. So a quick example from that is, you know, I'm on social media, I see World's Strongest Man, I'm a strength sport guy, and right away I'm like, I'm going for a World's Strongest Man. And I continue to push myself so hard that it ends up setting me back. Now I'm demotivated, okay? I don't have the same drive that I have, and maybe I just stop training in general because I'm a bit discouraged. Or maybe what I said is, hey, you know, I'm gonna start training like a strongman, and then maybe after a couple months I'm gonna do a strongman competition, see how that goes, and then from there continue to make that progress, and maybe one day I'll be a World's Strongest Man, but those are small, achievable, sustainable goals rather than picking something that's so big that we get defeated and we lose that momentum to get towards there. Not saying you don't want to shoot for the moon, okay? I'm all about that, obviously, because I'm very much like that person. At the same time, I am a realist and what is attainable and what's gonna work best for me to build momentum and succeed in that goal. So hopefully that helps you guys out and you can take some information from that. All right, guys, so hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'm kind of living what I'm preaching right now, right? Today wasn't a great training day, but I still got it in and got something done rather than didn't do anything. And I just wanted to talk about the mistakes maybe that I've made or the mindset that I've had in the past and what I can learn from that and implement it for today. So write them down. Hopefully one of these pertain to you, and I just really want you to succeed in life, especially in the gym as well. If you guys are looking for any sort of programming or training to kind of give you that path or that roadmap to where you want to go, we have a link down below for the programs. We have the app, we have a la carte programs, which are great to check out. We also have our community, which is on our Discord server, continues to grow. They're phenomenal people in that group. You know, I don't want to brag or anything, but I just love the people inside that group and the community that we're building. So it's a wise investment if you want to better yourself in the gym and in life to join that Discord, and I just really appreciate it, guys. So until then, stay a lean, mean strength machine. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.